The moment the case begins, it happens. 18-year-old Aiden Roth leans back in his chair and says it. My dad can buy you. The courtroom freezes. Judge Caprio slowly sets down his pen, his eyes fixed on the young man. Mr. Roth, he says, his voice dangerously calm, you're in a court of law. Those words are now on the permanent record. Do you understand that? Aiden just smirks. My father owns half this city. Judge Caprio doesn't even blink. He owns property, son. He doesn't own this bench. Sit down. Aiden gives a casual shrug as his attorney practically leaps to his feet. Your Honor, my client is young. He didn't mean. But Caprio cuts him off. He just undermined the integrity of this entire proceeding. We will address it. He nods to the clerk. Case 202-5TR-47286, Commonwealth v. Aiden Victor Roth, the clerk announces. Charges are speeding 68 miles per hour in a 35-mile-per-hour school zone, reckless operation, and failure to obey a lawful order. Aiden's lawyer tries again. Your Honor, we're prepared to pay any and all fines today, right now. Judge Caprio looks at him sternly. This court is not a payment portal. Officer Rodriguez, please take the stand. Officer Rodriguez raises his hand and is sworn in. On October 15th, at 8:47 in the morning, I was positioned near Carver Elementary. The school zone lights were active. I clocked a black sports sedan traveling at 68 miles per hour. The driver did not pull over for 2 full blocks. When I approached the vehicle and asked for his license and registration, he told me, call my lawyer first, and then, quote, do you know who pays your salary? Judge Caprio looks at the officer, then at Aiden. Play the audio from the body camera. A moment of static, then Aiden's voice, dripping with arrogance, fills the silent courtroom. Do you know who pays your salary? The judge lets the silence hang in the air for a long moment. He turns his gaze back to Aiden. Mr. Roth, did you say that to the officer? Aiden scoffs. Yeah, so what? Caprio leans forward slightly. So you tried to use privilege as a substitute for authority. Speed is a matter of physics, Mr. Roth, not social status. The judge then turns to the court clerk. Were there any outside contacts made to this court regarding this case? The clerk checks her notes. Yes, Your Honor. We received 3 calls from the legal department at Roth Capital Group, all within an hour of the traffic stop. The judge's eyes lock onto Aiden. Did you contact your father from the scene? Aiden admits it. I texted him. The clerk reads from a document. The text message, recovered from the defendant's phone, reads, Got cited. He'll make calls. Don't sweat it. Judge Caprio just shakes his head slowly in disbelief. Let's review the defendant's history, the judge says. The clerk pulls another file. The defendant has 3 prior speeding citations in the last 18 months. All 3 were handled by counsel. The defendant never appeared in court for any of them. Judge Caprio looks at Aiden. So, accountability has never been your personal responsibility. Not until today. He turns back to Officer Rodriguez. Officer, were children present at the time of the stop? The officer nods grimly. Yes, Your Honor. There were about 20 students in the crosswalk at the time. The judge's voice drops. Mr. Roth, you were traveling at 68 miles per hour past a group of 20 children. Do you have any idea what the stopping distance is for a vehicle at that speed? Aiden shrugs again. I stopped fine. You stopped 2 blocks later, Caprio retorts. That's not fine. That's defiance. That's a complete disregard for human life. Now, the judge circles back to the beginning. Let's return to your opening remark, the one that's now on the record forever. Do you stand by your statement that my dad can buy you? Aiden, somehow still confident, smirks. My dad has dinner with the mayor every month. He funds half the charities in this city. He can make a phone call, and this entire thing goes away. The room is silent as the clerk is instructed to read the transcript of Aiden's statement back to the court. Everyone holds their breath. Judge Caprio speaks, his voice now quiet but carrying immense weight. You just told the world on a public record that justice is for sale. The verdict comes swiftly. On the traffic citations, guilty on all counts. That will be $1,200 in fines, a 90-day license suspension, and you are ordered to complete a mandatory driver's safety course. Judge Caprio closes the folder. But we're not finished here. He leans forward, his gaze intense. Your statements to Officer Rodriguez on the side of the road and your statements here in this courtroom constitute direct contempt. You willfully attempted to intimidate a public servant and this very bench. For the first time, a flicker of uncertainty crosses Aiden's face. For direct contempt of court, the judge continues, I sentence you to 30 days in the adult correctional institutions. You will be eligible for a review after 15 days. A bailiff steps forward. Aiden's jaw drops. Wait, what? My dad. The judge cuts him off with the bang of his gavel. Your father will do nothing. Officer Wilson, take Mr. Roth into custody. The sharp click of handcuffs echoes through the room. Aiden's smirk is gone, replaced by a look of pure shock. The clerk notes the time. For the record, it is 10:31 a.m. 31 minutes from the case being called to the defendant being taken into custody. Judge Caprio looks at his docket. Next case. Just to show the contrast, the very next case is called. Commonwealth versus Maria Santos. A nervous woman steps forward. Judge Caprio looks at her file. Ma'am, it says here you were 3 days late renewing your vehicle's registration. I see you paid it the very next day. The woman nods. Yes, Your Honor. I'm so sorry. I work 2 jobs, and it just slipped my mind. The judge gives her a small, understanding smile. You took responsibility for your mistake. Fine reduced to $25 court costs. Have a good day. 1 week later, a motion is filed by Roth Capital's high-powered legal team to vacate the contempt charge against Aiden. Judge Caprio denies it in writing, stating for the record, his statement was not an exaggeration. It was a direct claim that his family's wealth supersedes the rule of law. The finding of contempt stands. 15 days later, Aiden Roth appears for his review hearing via video from the correctional facility. He looks different. He's unshaven, his eyes are downcast, and the arrogance is completely gone. What do you want to say to the court, Mr. Roth? The judge asks. Aiden takes a breath. I was wrong, he says, his voice quiet. I was arrogant. I disrespected Officer Rodriguez, and I disrespected this court. I endangered children. I'm truly sorry. Judge Caprio studies him. Are those your own words, Mr. Roth? Not something your lawyers wrote for you? Aiden looks up at the camera. Yes, Your Honor. They're my words. The judge nods. Good, because shame is where growth often begins. I'm reducing your sentence to time served, but with several conditions. He lists them out. 200 hours of community service, serving as a crossing guard assistant at the very same elementary school. He must write and deliver personal apologies to Officer Rodriguez and to the principal of Carver Elementary. He must record a public service announcement about school zone safety to be approved by the court. He must, of course, complete the driver's safety course. And finally, he must submit an 800-word essay reflecting on his experience. "Do you accept these terms?" the judge asks. Aiden doesn't hesitate. "Yes, Your Honor, I do." The transformation begins. The first week, Aiden is standing in the cold morning air, holding a bright red stop sign at the same crosswalk where he once flew past at 68 miles per hour. A few weeks later, he meets with Officer Rodriguez, his apology quiet and sincere. Then he meets with the school principal, just as humbled. His first draft of the PSA is rejected because he mentions his father. The second draft is approved. It's simple and direct. "My name is Aiden Roth. I drove 68 miles per hour past children. I was wrong. Please slow down and follow the limits in school zones." His final reflection paper is raw and honest. He writes, "I learned that money doesn't equal respect. Accountability does." Finally, Aiden Roth stands before Judge Caprio one last time. The judge looks at the young man, who seems to have aged years in a few short months. "Summarize for me what you learned from this." Aiden looks the judge in the eye. "I learned that rules are there to protect people, that I'm not special because of who my father is. And I learned that when I said, 'My dad can buy you,' I wasn't showing how much power I had. I was showing that I had none of my own." Judge Caprio picks up his pen and signs the final order closing the case. "Your community service is complete. Your license will be reinstated. Don't come back to this courtroom." Aiden nods. "I won't, Your Honor." "Thank you." He turns and walks away, a completely different person than the one who walked in. Thanks for watching. If you found this story of justice and accountability powerful, hit that like button and subscribe for more. We'll see you next time.